I think what initially attracted me to the project was, look, the script and David. I'd just moved to LA and I read a bunch of scripts, and David's was the first I read that I thought was really good. And then the second time I read it, it was even better. I play Grace in the film, and she, I'm basically Doug's love interest. And you just watch them grow up and you watch their relationship grow as the film progresses. The fact that it was set in the 60s, for me, I think for a lot of the cast members, we idealise that period, maybe because we weren't a part of it, but there was a lot of change going on socially and musically, and the music of the period is amazing. Films as well were extraordinary, and there was really groundbreaking stuff happening. And I think a lot of my research was focused around that. Like, David would point me in the direction of certain films or records or songs, and it was just great because they were all really good. All the material was great. The story is about a group of kids who form a band, and they want to be the Stones, but they never quite get there. And there's some great family relationships and the relationship between John and I that are really important aspects of the film as well. Doug is a boy I went to school with in the beginning, and I think there was always a basic level of awareness when we were at school together, but at some point I see him play. He plays drums at in a house party, and I think I become a bit more interested at that point because I see something in him, when he's playing the drums. And I talk to him at a couple of parties, and he's far more insightful, I think, than the other boys I've been spending time with. And I think he's the first person in the film, in Grace's life, who she believes sees her and sees what's going on in her life more accurately than anyone else does. It was really special watching those boys come together as a band, particularly because they rehearsed quite a bit before I'd even come to New York. So I didn't even realise at that point that they weren't musicians prior to the film beginning, because I just assumed that they were because I saw them and just thought, these guys are great. And then when, in hindsight, when people told me the stories, I was really surprised that they had no experience, because they were really, they seemed like a band to me. He was amazing to work with on every level. He was so warm, and his sense of humour, both of which were so unexpected when I first met him. He seems, because he can be quite reserved, and I didn't expect that from him. And as far as the actors, he just knew what to say. Like that scene where I was lost and with Time Is On Your Side, the way he explains things, it's like if he could see any of us floundering about, he knew what to say to kind of set us back on the right path. And I just loved that he was willing to wait for what he wanted, particularly, with his eye for detail, for the physical elements were just, I don't know. I can't say enough about David. I just love him. I think it's got something for everyone. The music's amazing. Everything about the time is perfect. And the relationships between all the characters, the boys are hilarious. I think everything about it is just great.